What's good, beautiful people? Y'all already know we're about to dive into some spicy celebrity tea today, and honey, this one is loaded with drama, family dynamics, and all the messy relationship energy you could ask for. We're talking about Blueface, yes, the Blueface, who has apparently moved a whole new woman into his house, and let me tell you, the internet is having a field day with this news. But that's not even the best part. His mama, Karlissa Saffold Harvey, is out here going off on social media, clapping back at all the haters who got something to say about her son's love life. And when I tell you this woman does not play when it comes to defending her family, chilly, she came with all the smoke. So grab your snacks, get comfortable, and smash that subscribe button because we are about to break down all the tea. We're talking about new relationships, family loyalty, social media drama, and why Blueface's love life stays being front-page news. Trust me, you do not want to miss a single detail of this story. Before we get into this new situation, let's quickly remind ourselves why Blueface's dating life is always such big news, because baby, this man's romantic history is more complicated than a soap opera. We all remember the whole Kardashian rock saga, and when I say saga, I mean saga. That relationship was like watching a reality TV show that you couldn't turn off. The fights, the makeups, the social media posts, the pregnancy drama, the on-again off-again energy, it was exhausting just to watch from the sidelines. Then there was Jaden Alexis, the mother of his children, who's been in and out of the picture for years. That whole dynamic has been messy from day one, with custody battles, social media wars, and enough drama to fuel a whole Netflix series. And let's not forget about all the other women who have been linked to Blueface over the years. This man has had more relationship drama than most people have hot dinners. Every few months, there's a new woman, a new controversy, a new round of social media chaos. But here's the thing about Blueface, he doesn't seem to care what anybody thinks about his personal life. He's going to do what he wants to do, date who he wants to date, and move how he wants to move, regardless of public opinion. And honestly, sometimes you gotta respect that level of, I don't care what y'all think, energy. Which brings us to right now, because apparently, Blueface has found himself a new lady, and this time, things might be getting serious because word on the street is that she's moved into his house. And y'all know that when a man lets a woman move into his space, that's a whole different level of commitment. So let's talk about this mystery woman who has apparently captured Blueface's heart and earned herself a key to his house. Now, I'm going to be real with y'all, the details about who this woman is are still pretty limited, and that might be intentional. Think about it, after all the public relationship drama Blueface has been through, maybe he's trying to keep this one a little more low-key? Maybe he learned something from all the chaos with Kardashian and decided to move differently this time. But here's what we do know, according to sources close to the situation, this woman has not only been spending time with Blueface, but she's apparently moved some of her stuff into his place. And y'all, that's not something you do casually. That's a we're taking this seriously move right there. Now, the fact that Blueface is comfortable enough to let someone new into his personal space so soon after all the drama with his previous relationships tells me a few things. Either this woman is really special, or Blueface just moves fast when he knows what he wants. Knowing his track record, it could honestly be either one. What's interesting to me is how quiet this has been kept initially. Usually, when Blueface is dating someone new, it's all over social media within days. The fact that this news is just now coming out suggests that maybe they've been trying to keep things private, at least in the beginning. But you know how it is in the age of social media, nothing stays private forever, especially when you're a celebrity. Someone always sees something, posts something, or drops a hint that gets the internet detective work started. And once the internet gets hold of relationship tea, it's game over for privacy. I'm curious to see how this plays out, because moving in together is a big step for anyone, but especially for someone like Blueface who has had such public relationship failures in the past. This could either be the start of something really good for him, or it could be setting the stage for the next round of social media drama. But speaking of social media drama, let's talk about how the internet has been reacting to this news, because honey, people have opinions. And when people started coming for Blueface and his new relationship, that's when Mama Karlissa decided it was time to step in and remind folks who they're dealing with. Now y'all, if you don't know about Karlissa Saffold Harvey, let me educate you real quick, because this woman is not the one to play with when it comes to her family. Karlissa is Blueface's mother, and she has been riding for her son through every single controversy, every relationship drama, every public scandal. She is the definition of a loyal mama. This woman will go to war on social media for her child, and she does not care who has a problem with it. So when people started getting online talking crazy about Blueface's new relationship, making jokes, throwing shade, and basically doing what the internet does best, which is having opinions about things that ain't their business, Karlissa said, "Not today." She took to social media with a series of posts that basically told all the haters exactly where they could go with their negative opinions. And when I tell you this woman came with receipts and energy, she was not playing around. Karlissa basically said, "Y'all always got something to say about my son, but where was that same energy when he was helping people? Where was that energy when he was taking care of his family? But now he's happy with someone new and suddenly everybody's a relationship expert." And honestly, I felt every word of that. Because it's true, people love to tear down black men, especially successful young black men who are trying to figure out their personal lives. Everybody wants to have an opinion, everybody wants to judge, but nobody wants to acknowledge the positive things these men do. Karlissa also addressed the people who were questioning why Blueface moved so fast with this new woman. She basically said, "My son is a grown man who can make his own decisions about his love life, and if he's found someone who makes him happy, then I support that." But what I really respected about Karlissa's response was that she didn't just defend her son, she also made it clear that she's watching how people treat this new woman too. She basically said, "If you're going to come for my family, you better come correct, because I will defend all of us." And you know what? That's exactly what a good mother should do. Not enabling bad behavior, but standing up for your child when the world is trying to tear them down for no good reason. Karlissa has seen her son go through public heartbreak, public humiliation, and public scrutiny, and she's had enough of it. Now let me tell y'all, the internet has been divided on this whole situation, and the reactions have been absolutely wild to watch unfold. On one side, you have people who are genuinely happy for Blueface and hoping that he's found someone who can bring some stability to his life. These fans are like, "Good for him. Maybe this woman will be good for him and help him grow." But then on the other side, you have people who are skeptical as hell. They're like, "Here we go again. How long is this one going to last? Why does he keep moving so fast with these women?" And then there's a whole third group of people who are just here for the entertainment value. They're grabbing their popcorn like, "Okay, let's see how this plays out because we know it's about to be messy." What's been interesting to watch is how people have been analyzing every little detail. Social media detectives have been trying to figure out who this woman is, where she came from, what she does for work, how they met. The internet is relentless when it comes to celebrity relationship tea. Some people have been comparing this situation to his previous relationships, trying to predict how it's going to end. Others have been praising him for seemingly keeping things more private this time around. And then there are people who are just waiting for the first sign of drama. But what's been really interesting is watching how Karlissa's clapback has shifted the conversation. Before she spoke up, a lot of the comments were just mindless trolling and negativity. But after she posted her defense, more people started having actual conversations about family loyalty, supporting black men, and respecting people's right to find love. Some people have been praising Karlissa for being a ride-or-die mom, saying things like, "This is what family support looks like," and "More parents should defend their children like this." But then others have been saying she's too involved in her son's business and that she should let him handle his own drama. Those people clearly don't understand the concept of family loyalty, because when your child is being attacked publicly, you defend them, period. The one thing everyone seems to agree on is that Karlissa does not play when it comes to her family, and anyone who thought they were going to talk crazy about Blueface without consequences learned real quick that they had another thing coming. Let's take a moment to talk about something that I think gets overlooked in all this drama, the beautiful family dynamic between Blueface and his mother, because honestly, it's something special to see. In a world where a lot of young men, especially successful ones, distance themselves from their families or get too caught up in fame to maintain close relationships with their parents, Blueface and Karlissa have maintained a bond that's really admirable. This woman has been in her son's corner through everything. When he was getting dragged for his music, she defended him. When he was going through relationship drama, she supported him. When people were questioning his parenting, she stood up for him. That level of consistent loyalty is rare and beautiful. And what I love about Karlissa is that she's not just blindly supporting everything her son does. From what I've observed, she gives him real talk when he needs it, but she also protects him from unnecessary attacks from outsiders. That's the balance every parent should strive for. Think about how hard it must be to watch your child go through public heartbreak and humiliation. Karlissa has had to watch the internet tear her son apart over his relationships, his music, his choices, and she's had to bite her tongue a lot of times. But when it comes to protecting his right to find happiness and love, that's where she draws the line. What this situation shows me is that Blueface has a strong support system at home, which is probably why he's able to keep pursuing love despite all the public failures and criticism. Having a mother who believes in you and will fight for you no matter what gives you the confidence to keep trying, keep growing, and keep opening your heart to new possibilities. And honestly, we need more families like this in the public eye. Families that stick together, defend each other, and refuse to let outside opinions break their bond. In an industry that can be really isolating and fake, having real family loyalty is everything. This makes me think about our own families and support systems. Do we have people in our lives who will go to bat for us when the world is against us? Are we that person for someone else? Because what Karlissa is showing us is what unconditional love and support looks like in action. So where do we go from here? What does all this drama and defense mean for Blueface, his new relationship, and the family dynamic we've been talking about? First, I think Karlissa's public defense sends a clear message to anyone who wants to mess with her family: you're going to have to deal with her too. This probably makes Blueface feel more confident about being open with his relationships, knowing his mama has his back. For this new relationship, having family support could actually be a game changer. We've seen how toxic it can get when family members don't approve of or support their loved ones' relationships. But knowing that Karlissa is willing to defend this new woman too creates a protective bubble around their situation. I'm also wondering if this public show of family unity might inspire Blueface to move differently in this relationship. Having your mother publicly defend your right to love and be loved is powerful motivation to make better choices and treat this opportunity with more care. Now, let's be real, we don't know how this relationship is going to turn out. Blueface's track record speaks for itself, and moving in together quickly doesn't guarantee long-term success.